If we can call this meeting to order a little bit. Oh, there he is. All right. Thank you for coming to tonight's meeting, Monday, April 28th, 2025. Excuse me, will you please stand for the prayer and pledge by Councilmember Dale Paulus?
Eternal God, I pray that you bless us in this meeting and keep us. I pray that we feel your presence during this meeting because you are always with us wherever we go. I pray that this meeting focuses upon you and your plans for us as a body of believers. Let our actions in this meeting be valuable to our aim, which is to build up and enlighten one another. Please watch over and protect our military, fire, and police personnel. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Clerk, we have a roll call, please.
Councilmember Paulus.
Here.
Councilmember Pennington.
Here.
Councilmember Kraft.
Here.
Councilmember Myers.
Here.
Councilmember Davidson.
Here.
Councilmember Brill.
Here.
Councilmember Bessel.
Here.
Very good, thank you. Are there any agenda modifications before you? Hearing none, we'll let the agenda stand as stated. Is there an executive session request for this evening?
Yes, there is. To consider confidential information related to the marketing plans, specific business strategy, or personal financial statements of an applicant for economic development assistance. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to convene executive session stated by the city manager.
Second.
Motion second, roll call vote.
Councilmember Paulus.
Yes.
Councilmember Pennington.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraft.
Yes.
Councilmember Myers.
Yes.
Councilmember Davidson.
Yes.
Councilmember Brill.
Yes.
Councilmember Bessel.
Yes.
All righty. I did want to mention, if anybody didn't know, there is an agenda out there. It's in both sides. If you didn't get it on the way in, if you can follow along, or you're welcome to grab that. All right. Periodically throughout the year, we recognize citizens and companies that do things. And at this time, Councilmember Kraft would like to do a presentation. There you go. Terry, you want to come up? She's in the very back, in the middle of the very back. That takes a minute. This isn't church. So.
So we had a citizen that used to live in Fairfield whose parents still live in Fairfield actually reach out to us over email and told us a really cool story. And so we take these opportunities to celebrate our citizens and celebrate the businesses that we have in our city that really make us who we are as a community, and it's fantastic. So I'll share the email so you guys can understand where this is coming from, and then we'll read the rest. So this person was raised in Fairfield. I'll spare his name in case he doesn't want his name shared. Happy to share with you afterwards. But was raised in Fairfield. My mother and stepfather are current residents of the great city of Fairfield. I'm a police officer in Ohio with 2 special needs children. I struggled for years getting my 3-year-old Boston and my 5-year-old Barrett haircuts due to their special needs. I was invited to Dixie Chicks Barbershop by the owner, Tara Combs, out of the kindness of her heart. My ex-wife, stepfather, and mother would attend these haircuts because of how stressful and challenging it could be in keeping my children calm and happy. After closing the shop on 2 occasions to offer a more comfortable setting for my children, she cut their hair and was incredibly sweet and kind to my entire family. I think these types of incredible people are what make the city of Fairfield a great place to live and travel. Not only does she offer all citizens of Fairfield fantastic service, but she also goes out of her way for children in need. I only wish for her to be recognized by city leadership and council members for her caring nature. So to Tara Combs, owner of Dixie Chicks Barbershop at 5092 Pleasant Avenue here in Fairfield, we say thank you. So this certificate of recognition is awarded to Tara Combs, owner of Dixie Chicks Barbershop at 5092 Pleasant Avenue, Fairfield, Ohio, 45014. This is special thanks and recognition of your high level of customer service and caring nature for the citizens of Fairfield, Ohio. Award presented the 28th day of April, 2025.
How about that? Good job. This next one's not on the agenda, actually. Councilmember Brill will take over the mic.
Alicia, will you come on up?
She's all worried about this. She runs our agenda, and she goes, what's he doing?
He's messing things
Going
up.
off script.
Just wanted to recognize Alicia. She she has 8 bosses, can you imagine that? She has the mayor and all 7 of us council members, and that changes every election, so, it's always varied. So she's got 15 years of service, and we want to congratulate Alicia Wilson and thank you for demonstrating continued commitment required to achieve excellence and success. You do make a difference. And I just want to say, she by far is professional in everything that she does. She's a pleasure to work with. She's easy to work with, and she's so very efficient. We are really, really blessed to have her. And that's a sentiment I think is shared by each and every member on council. So congratulations for 15 years. Let's say another 15. Thank you.
I struggle with one boss and my wife, so 15 or 8 of them, that's a difficult task. Oop, let me get off this guy. All right. Give me a second here. All right. When I became the mayor a few years back, I formed what they call a Mayor's Youth Commission. And it's not unique around the country, but it was unique here. I go into the high school and we pick about 10 juniors and 10 seniors, and they become like interns at the city. They get to pick which department they get assigned to, whether it's finance or public development services or utilities or GIS mapping, IT, it just goes on and on. And so these students from the high school come multiple times a month, and they sit in and help and learn more about what it takes to be a city government employee or what the job is, and hopefully maybe a career for them. They do it every month, and then we get together every month as a group at the high school, and we go in a little roundabout of what they learned that month. So it's enlightening when you have 11th and 8th graders talking about, or I'm sorry, 11th and 12th graders talking about easements or the size of the pipe and the certain water because the GIS mapping shows this, or zoning or finance. One of the gentlemen today, we had our meeting after school today, and he goes, really, one thing for sure is there's a whole lot of money moving around, and that's what we do. We bring in tax money and we spend it. So tonight, one of the groups asked to be a presenting group to our group here, and they are led by our public utilities director. And at this time, guys, the show is all yours. Make sure you introduce yourselves and et cetera. Oh, here's your mic.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brandon Valenzuela,
My name is Owusu Ofori.
and we are honored to be representing the Mayor's Youth Commission and sharing some of what we learned over the past year about public utilities.
Throughout the year, we met once a month as part of the Mayor's Youth Commission, and each meeting gave us a deeper look into a different area of public utilities. Tonight, Brandon and I will walk you through everything we learned from those experiences, starting with the foundation of it all, the Public Utilities Mission Statement. The Public Utilities Mission Statement shows the primary objectives of our Public Utilities Department. These include protecting public health and safety, protecting our environment, providing exceptional customer service, and providing stable and cost-effective rates. Now, we'll talk about all the operations we learned about, starting with rates.
So another important topic we learned about was how public utility sets the rates for services like water, wastewater, and trash. Jason and the team explained how these rates are carefully planned, not just to cover the cost of daily operations, but also to invest in future improvements and manage the city's debt responsibly. Fairfield has some of the lowest utility rates compared to other cities in our region, as you can see over there. And this shows how well our city manages its finances, keeping cost affordable residents while still providing high quality services. We also learned that when you look at your water bill, you're actually getting a huge amount of clean, safe drinking water for a very low price. The water bill is probably one of the cheapest bills you pay for every single month, but still one of the most important. It supports everything from drinking water to public safety like fire protection. Owusu will now talk about how Fairfield protects water.
Source water protection. To protect our groundwater, Fairfield is part of the Groundwater Consortium. The consortium takes many steps to ensure the protection of the Great Miami Buried Aquifer. The consortium has selected specific areas that need protection from contamination. They also have contingency plans in place for the short and long term. The consortium also makes sure to take preventative actions, including having businesses register their facilities with them. Working with Greater Cincinnati Waterworks, the aquifer is constantly being monitored.
So another major area we learned about was the capital improvement process. These projects begin with a concept, identifying the need for improvement in new infrastructure. From there, research, improvement, lost my part. The research is conducted to understand the scope, cost, and potential impact on the community. Once the concept is fully developed, the engineering phase begins. The phase involves creating detailed engineering drawings that outline exactly how the project will be built. These plans go through multiple reviews, including by Jason, who reviews like hundreds of documents to ensure that everything aligns with the city standards and is technically sound. After these engineering plans are reviewed and refined, they are submitted for approval from the city council and the mayor, which he definitely gets to have a lot of fun with. Once the plan receives approval, it moves into the construction phase, where the actual work begins. Throughout this phase, there's constant oversight to ensure everything is built according to plan, on time, and within budget. The benefits of this process are significant. These improvements help ensure that our city's infrastructure remains reliable and efficient, supporting the community needs for years to come. Whether it's upgrading water systems or improving roads, each project contributes to a stronger, more sustainable Fairfield. Owusu now will talk about the water treatment process.
Water treatment. Water treatment is a process used to improve water quality for a specific use. There are 7 parts to our water treatment process here in Fairfield. First, water is pumped from our well field. The water comes from the Great Miami Buried Aquifer, which holds over 1 trillion gallons of water. Next, air is added to the water in a process called aeration, which removes gases like carbon dioxide. Thirdly, lime is added to the water, removing metals like calcium and magnesium. After this, carbon dioxide is once again added to the water to give it a stable pH balance. Next, sodium hypochlorite is added for water disinfection. Then the water is again filtered. Finally, fluoride is added to the water to improve or to ensure healthy teeth.
Now we get to water distribution system, which provides drinking water to the city's residents through 3 pressure zones. It includes 6 water towers with a total capacity of over 8 million gallons, which we can see Winton has 1.5 million gallons, Hunter has 3 million gallons, Mac has 500,000 gallons, one of the Seward ones has 1.5 million gallons, and the other one has 500,000 gallons. And the latest one built is a Port Union one, which holds 1.25 million gallons. These towers ensure there's always a steady supply of water, even during peak demand. The system also includes over 190 miles of pipes and over 2,000 fire hydrants, which are crucial for both water access and firefighting. Pumping stations and pressure-reducing valves throughout the city help maintain constant water flow, ensuring everyone has access to clean, reliable water. The water towers also provide emergency reserves, in case of system disruption, making this infrastructure essential for both daily use and public safety.
Wastewater treatment. The journey of wastewater through a treatment plant involves several crucial steps, from initial entry to final release. This process ensures clean water returns to our environment. First is pre-treatment. This includes grinding, screening, and pumping. Next is our primary treatment, which includes sludge removal. Our secondary treatment, activated sludge, is where microorganisms break down organic materials in our water. Next is secondary clarification, where microorganisms settle in the bottom and leave clean water. Our final treatment, disinfection, is where UV lights destroy pathogenic bacteria. Our final effluent, clean water is released into a lower grade Miami River, supporting the river's ecosystem and preventing water pollution.
And lastly, as you can see in these pictures, is the Public Utility Department, which is made up of dedicated and hardworking individuals who ensure that Fairfield's infrastructure runs smoothly every day. Whether it's maintaining the water system, handling emergency situations, or planning for future improvements. Their commitment to the community is very clear. I want to extend a special thanks to Jason for sharing his expertise with us throughout the Mayor's Youth Commission, and to the mayor for supporting this program. It has been a great opportunity for us to learn and now share what we've discovered. Thank you for all your time. Thank you.
I'm always impressed. Every month, these guys and ladies do these presentations, and today was just epic, and you guys finished it off with a home run, so good job, good job. All righty, let's see here, got that done. All right, citizens' comments. At this time, if you'd like to speak about anything that's on the agenda, later in the agenda, or anything for that matter, it's concerning you in our city, you're welcome to come up to the microphone, state your name, address. It needs to be spoken pretty clearly because these are recorded. And we do have a limit of 5 minutes per participant, and you're welcome to come up at any time and speak on any topic. So. Right ahead.
Hi, I'm Barbara Shire, 1042 Gale Avenue. I'm representing the National Association of Letter Carriers, Branch 426, which is Hamilton, Fairfield, Trenton. Every second Saturday of May is the Letter Carriers Food Drive, the biggest one-day food drive in the entire country. This year it's on May the 10th. I've got a flyer here. I always like to say it's the easiest good deed you can do. All you gotta do is put your donation in on or next to your mailbox. Your carrier or a volunteer will come along and pick it up. We also have barrels at all the area post offices, and this year we're going to have a barrel in the lobby of the Fairfield YMCA. And there's also, if you find a flyer or a poster, there's a QR code this year where you can just take out your phone and scan it. Last year, we collected about 17,000 pounds of food in Butler County, and over the 30 years, well over, what, $1 million, $1.5 million, I don't know, just in Butler County. And all the donations go to Shared Harvest in Fairfield, and KT will take over from here.
Hi, KT Sills from Shared Harvest Food Bank, 5901 Dixie Highway. Yes, I'm KT Sills. I'm the Community Engagement Manager with Shared Harvest Food Bank. I just wanted to talk about the importance of Stamp Out Hunger and to applaud the tremendous support we've received from our community over the years with this food drive. It is always our largest each and every year. Shared Harvest, since its inception in 1983, seeks to find, rescue, and distribute food to people of all walks of life facing food insecurity through an efficient network of food pantries, soup kitchens, and shelters utilizing the public and private sectors to raise awareness of the impact of poverty. Everyone needs nutritious food to thrive in every community in America, and people are working hard to provide for themselves and their families. Yet, 1 in 7 people experience food insecurity in the United States. Our neighbors experiencing food insecurity tell us that the high cost of food and other essentials like housing and healthcare, employment, and other factors are among the top reasons why it's increasingly difficult to afford and access food that they need to thrive. So we now more than ever are looking for opportunities within our community to make sure our families have what they need. So even just a few canned goods on Saturday, May 10th, can and will make all the difference. Thank you all so much for your time.
Good, thank you. Thanks for that. Well, make sure this gets enlarged and put on our city page, so that's a good thing for everybody to see and have. Go, you're free. You got the mic. Clock starts over.
All right, Barb Shire, 1042 Gale Avenue. This is about the City of Fairfield Residential Tree Program to maintain our Tree City USA. I just have a suggestion about it. It's estimated that on the average landscaping for the average home everywhere in the country, that 85% of the plants are non-native. And native plants are very, very important for the ecology. They support the insects, the butterflies, the birds, and everything. So my only quick suggestion is it's really nice you got that. If you get a tree at Myers or Lakeview, you get that 50% copay. My suggestion is maybe you sweeten the pot just a little bit on that for people who do buy native trees. Seems like that would be good for the ecology. So that's all I had to say.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our Parks Director is right there. I'm sure she wrote that down, so that's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else? All right.
My name is Nikki Smith, and I live at 5753 Gray Road. I have a concern about the fact that council is looking at putting a bar or restaurant at Marsh Lake. I kayak there and I walk, and I live in that neighborhood, and I'm concerned about, excuse me, the traffic, the garbage, the noise. And it doesn't seem like that's what we need in that neighborhood. This is such an awesome green space for us, for the neighborhood. There's fishing there, there's kayaking. It's just a beautiful area the way it is. We do need the hiking trails around the lake to be completed. But there's so many people that use that. And now we still have problems with garbage and fires and things like that. I just think that would be so much worse with a bar and a restaurant there. It doesn't seem like that's what this area is for. So I just wanted to make my concern.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Charlie Pierce. I live at 5212 Cherry Mill Court, and I've lived here for 35 years, and I want to say Fairfield's a great place to live and raise a family. Thank you for all the amenities that we have. However, I wanted to speak to a diamond that Fairfield has in the middle of its community that they could, if they wanted to, take advantage of it. I want to see by a show of hands if the council members, if any of them have ever been in Mercy Healthplex. I can see that most of you have. It was a really good place to go exercise, do all kinds of different kind of activities that they have over there. It is now sitting vacant. It was managed by an outside firm out of Illinois somewhere, although the people that worked there were great people, said Mercy on their shirts, but they were not really Mercy, didn't really belong to Mercy. It's kind of, you would probably know more of the history. It's kind of a convoluted thing. Who owns the building? Who owns the land? Anyway, that Mercy Healthplex got lost in the shuffle of all the things. They didn't get their contract renewed. But if you go and look at it, you've got a 2 full court basketball court that has just been restriped. I happened to be there when they did it. The guy that did it happened to also do every NBA court in the United States except the Celtics. That's just a little trivia, my brain aside. Sorry for that. But the other thing is, it has a full Olympic swimming pool. And I think it has an outside pool also. It has 6 tennis courts. It's got an inside track. It's got all kinds of exercise equipment. And I wondered if it's possible that the city council could possibly look into the availability of taking it over, of managing it, or assign it to somebody to management, because your like I said, it's a diamond that's just kind of sitting there. I know that Baden used to, their swim team used to come in there and use those facilities. Anyway, it's a great facility. If you've ever been to Springdale Community Center, that's a really nice facility too. They got all kinds of stuff going on there all the time. Not that we don't have some, but that would be a more added to central place to have a lot of different things. I just wish you would think about entertaining, possibly doing something with that site. Thank you.
Well, I will tell you this, the city did look into it, and as well some other private enterprises around. I know there's some enterprises that have signed some NDAs with non-disclosure agreements, so you can't speak of what's going on with them. But, and I don't know if there's any movement with those. So I just know that there's some NDAs signed, and they're discussing them with some other enterprises. Other than that,
I said, we maintain pretty regular dialogue with the folks at Mercy Hospital to keep apprised of what's going on. We share the sentiment that we'd like to see that building programmed and active space. So we do maintain pretty regular contact with them to find out what the future of that building will be.
As far as I know, and this is real recent, that the equipment and everything's just still sitting there. They haven't moved any of it out or sold anything, so.
it's actually owned by one company, leased to another, and
Yeah.
the hospital didn't have anything to do with it, except for they were losing money every year.
Yeah.
So that's why they closed it, they were losing money.
Well, I think
Never,
that
ever made money.
if they would have had,
land underneath it.
Yeah.
if
so
they
it's-
would have had
it's
a better marketing program, I think,
Yeah.
and then if the city was behind it, it's like, wow, I mean, people would go there for
Yeah.
sure.
So,
So I know that not to get around the non-disclosures, but I know that the YMCA, some people from the YMCA came through and looked at it, so. And the Y does have a daycare center that they run in the child's services over there. I just hope that you keep active like you say you
We
are
are.
in terms of, it would be a great development. It would be, I would go as far to say, it would be a small spooky nook south.
Yeah.
Thank you.
all right,
You know,
thank you.
the other thing too is, you got Doug Meese, the chairman of the Parks Board, who ran the GE Fitness Center forever, and he's available right now to do this.
He's recently retired, so he could take that over.
Always trying to help you, Doug.
All right, anybody else would like to say anything?
Mark Conter, 5772 Gray Road. I'm not going to say much about the project at hand because I know all of you. I feel like I grew up with some of you for many years. I'd like to make a formal request of the council, of the mayor, of the city manager, that we pause the third reading on the Marsh Lake concept. And give us time to digest it a little bit. And I'd also suggest, and out of common sense and reason, that maybe we take a minute and engage our community one more time. I was at the public engagement process. I went through it. As many of you know, I was an outspoken person at many of the meetings on this leading up to it. But anyway, I'd like to ask that we pause that third reading. Let's just take a breath before we put a restaurant, bar, brewery, brew pub. I've heard it referred to as a lot of things. But let's engage our community one more time. Let's do a direct mailing. Let's bring everybody in the Lakes community out and hear from them. Let's hear from them in one more survey, one more direct mailing. We've waited a long, long time at Marsh Lake to get anything really progress done. The trail, Scott, you walked your stroller over there and told me it was a chatterbox. It's hard, you can't do it. It's hard to ride a bike on it. There's things over there that we can do while we're waiting. But let's take a pause, not on the whole project. The whole project sounds great to me, other than the commercial development within the park. And I think we need to just give that some more thought before we proceed with it. I don't know how we changed the concept. When I was at the public engagement, the area that you're showing that restaurant is going to be sitting in was shaded in red as undevelopable. There was nothing on there. I was there. I remember it very clearly. The whole area was shaded in red, that we couldn't build on that. And some of the concepts that were offered for that was maybe expand parking for the fishing, expand area for a playground. But there was no concept of putting the bar brewery on that red area right by the roundabout. But anyway, formal request. You guys know me. Let's take a couple months. Let's engage our community over at the lakes. Adam, meet with us. Come talk to us. You know, we can sit in here and each have 5 minutes, but we can't explain all this to you. I mean, what that lake means to us, what our community means to us, what the quiet means to us, the escape. You know, we all go up and down Route 4 and Nillis, and it's nice to come around that corner and take a deep breath and go, we're almost home. You know, it's quiet. There's no commercial development over there. It's a residential neighborhood. And maybe it's a little selfish of us to want to keep that. And I know all of us in our own communities would feel the same way. You know, when that development starts to encroach, we all start to get a little nervous that, you know, our way of life is going to change. You know, the next generation's not going to have the opportunities we had. So I'm asking you, I'm pleading, as you know, I've pleaded with several of you at different times. Let's take a breath, take a pause. Let's pause that third reading and take the summer. Engage with us. Let's feel it out. Nobody's gonna break ground over there now anyway for that time. So I ask you. That's all. Thank you.
Mr. Timmer, just to Mr. Conter's point, from a process standpoint, tonight's legislation is the third reading, does not authorize city council to spend a dime.
That's correct.
Not a dime is going to be spent on this project. It has to cycle back through the Parks Department. It's not even in design yet.
Correct.
So there's no construction documents. There's nothing that's been done on this except a high-level concept. Is that accurate?
That's accurate. So the plan that's up for adoption tonight is that master plan concept, just as you referenced. Before anything were to be even engineered way before construction, that would be filtered through the Parks Board as this is a park property prior to getting to City Council for final approval. So the plan is a concept that has been worked on, you know, for a number of years, but it does not appropriate any money. It does not authorize any expenditure.
During that time, if council was to go ahead and finish the third reading tonight, during that vetting time, I'm going to call it vetting time, when you're going to take that master plan and develop it, right? Is there opportunity at that time to get advanced citizen comments, refine the plan with citizens' input?
Absolutely.
You understand that, Mark? Do you understand what we're saying? So this is a procedural piece tonight that allows city council to move forward, but by no means is this legislative body, allowed to spend a dime without going through the Parks Board, getting a recommendation from the Parks Board first, then coming to council and then taking a vote, piece by piece. You understand that? Okay. I want to make sure that's clear to the audience. This is simply moving the master plan to a point where we can start to really develop it, really vet it, put some, like to say, meat on the bone here. Does that make sense? Not a dime can be spent. I wanted that to be clear. Good. Mark, you can come back every meeting. We'd love to have you. I'm not the mayor, but.
All right. Anybody else? Go ahead.
Well, I just want to reiterate what Mark said. My name is Chantel Oliver. I live at 5387 Byberry Road. Have any of you ever been to Mars Park?
Well, we all
How
have.
many? Okay.
Often.
Okay, that's good, because I'm a nature lover. I don't get out much but close to home, but I've seen us lose the Morris Lake Family Farm in Fairfield on Firebird Lane to those giant warehouses for
9, 10 years, we saw eagles land over there and fish in the flooded waters, and that's gone. We saw them butcher up Gilmore Parks for a paved bike trail, which I realize those are popular, but they could have gone through the edges and not taken down 80-year-old trees and disturbed some of nature's habitat. And I know that's not popular to say about nature. Everybody wants to save the green, but not really, because everything has to have noise. It's got to have a park for concerts and restaurants and outdoor music. No, we need more quiet. We just need more quiet. And when you've fallen in love with the bald eagle like I have and seen it, when I started watching, 10 years ago, there was one couple nearby, Ralph and Alice, and now there's several couples around. But they need their big trees. They need their bodies of water and their green space, And to add that to Marsh Lake's got gorgeous sunlight. The guys that go there every morning, I just go there a few times a year and I see great sunsets, the common loon. My greats threw in some other neat birds, but it's the last little chance Fairfield had without having a bar in it or a restaurant. I mean, why not do a coffee shop with a little snack area, a little boardwalk, a little viewing area, snack shop, something where you don't have to invest in kitchens and big buildings. So let's face it, with tariffs and everything, prices are kind of expensive, though COVID shut down. We're still paying for that, which is another thing. Why not charge money for fishing at Marsh Lake again to help keep it cleaner and get some park rangers in there? Just help protect the green space. So that's all I had. I mean, if you want to talk more about this, I'll be at the next meeting on Marsh Lake. But I would like to ask a question. If you've got money to put into Marsh Lake, why can't we make these turn arrows longer at busy intersections when you have to turn left in traffic and you sit through 3 and 4 turn because some jughead in front of you is texting? I have an idea about that, but I should have stayed with Marsh Lake. But thank you.
I'm with you on that one. Anybody else want to say something on this topic? All right.
Pay Paradise put up a parking lot. Is that where we're at? Does anybody else feel like that? Yes. Okay. I love Marsh Lake. I love Fairfield. I like taking a walk there. I think that you've done some great things with the music, bringing in food trucks and things of that nature. I think that personally.
I'm going to stop you for name and address.
Oh, Tina Conter, 5772 Gray Road. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, just because it's recorded, we got to know.
Pardon me?
Just because it's being recorded, we got to know for the public record.
Okay, Pave Paradise put up a parking lot. We start over. I do enjoy the lake. I don't like to go fishing, but I do like the ambiance of the sunsets and the sunrises. We enjoyed the music that they had last year a few times, food trucks. I think folks in the neighborhood will be happier with something of that nature, and maybe fix up the trail a little bit, because it is kind of like riding a jackhammer sometimes. So, and maybe improve the kayaking docks and fishing docks and things of that nature. So anyway, not real cool on the restaurant, but we'll see. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, anybody else on this topic? Or any other public comment, actually? All righty. Hearing none, we'll move on and for council reports. I did want to comment before we get to this. I asked the staff to put together, we did do a survey, of course, 60-some% were in favor of that. We had 2 meetings down at Marsh. We had about 7 Parks Board meetings on it. So I think we have a total of about 13 or 14 meetings on this, not counting 1 2 weeks ago and 4 weeks ago. So I don't want anybody out there saying we're trying to run something down somebody's throat. They're doing it under the skies of night. I've heard everything, and it's just not true. We've been talking about this project for well over a year. So, all right, council reports down here.
None.
We were talking about Marsh Lake and the trails. I just want to just thank Mandy and your entire team, Scott. I played golf at the South Trace. Unbelievable pass. So what you guys have done there is just remarkable. Smooth. It didn't help me at all, but it was really,
gonna
really
say, was your score any
smooth.
better?
No, it didn't help at all. Okay, I didn't spill my beer as much, but well done. Really, really great. And financially, I think we're doing well, and I don't think there's anything really to report there. And tax season's essentially over, and we're moving forward. But that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Nobody was camping out on April 15th out there, but it was a long line. It's amazing how we do it. Wait right to the very last minute. All right, Mr. Kraft.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Not to rehash any of the comments that were taken, I just want to take an opportunity to showcase the overarching fantastic jewel that everybody has been talking about for Marsh Park. What it has done, it has brought up opinions, and it has brought up people who may not feel comfortable talking or have a reason to come up and talk, and that's a great thing. It's a great thing for the community to be involved, to let your voices be heard, to reach out and either talk to the city manager, to reach out and talk to council, to send an email, to connect on Facebook Messenger, whatever you're comfortable with. It creates an avenue for discussion, and it creates an opportunity for us to further come together as a community. I truly echo all of your guys' opinions about the park, its beauty, the sereneness. We've been down there multiple times as a resident in the 4th Ward with our family and our dogs. And having the opportunity to go to something like that in Fairfield strengthens my reason why I want to be a part of this community. So that is something that does not need to go not mentioned, and much appreciated. So I was just taking a second to thank everyone who's reached out, to thank people who've taken the time to send messages and to do phone calls and to extend your opinions. I think it's very important. So thank you. That's all.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I do have a report on Public Works. It is springtime, and in the city, across the city, they're doing brush pickup, mowing grass, mulching, landscaping, trimming trees, making pavement repairs, and doing various infrastructure repairs. So just a little reminder to please slow down, drive safely in the work zones, and anytime you see a city workers in the right of way, just be careful and slow down. That's all I have to report for the Public Works. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have nothing.
Just a couple of statistics that I wanted to share with everyone, since most of you are here on behalf of our parks. The number of acres of park per 1,000 people in Fairfield is 18.5. The national average is 10.6. There's approximately 1,392 residents per park in Fairfield versus the national average, which is 2,386. Also, I have a couple of quick things here. Bear with me. I have to click around. Last week, the city received its 30-year Tree City Award and its 14th Growth Award. This is a significant accomplishment for our community. Additionally, to celebrate Earth Day last Tuesday, the Environmental Commission, along with city staff, planted a tree at Huffman using funds donated by Duke Energy. And also, several parking lots and trails will be sealed over the next couple of weeks, including the dog park, the Community Arts Center, Point Pleasant Park Trail, and Huffman Park. Inconvenience to the public should be minimal, but our Parks Department will put out information on our social media pages when work occurs.
All right, thank you very much. We have no public hearing. We do approval of the minutes of April 14th. Hearing no objections, we'll let them stand as approved and move right on to old business, Parks and Recreation. Councilmember Bezel.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have an ordinance to authorize the city manager to approve and adopt Fairfield's Marsh Park Master Plan dated spring 2025. This is the third reading. I'd like to move for adoption.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for adoption. Comments from audience? I think we've heard most of those, unless you want to do it again. Comments from council? We've heard you.
I've got some. So, first of all, I think Adam said this very well, not to repeat him, but everybody in this room should be very proud of the democratic process that has taken place with this particular project and the passion of folks that live in this city. I've lived here for 40 years. I'm completely vested. We each take this job extremely serious, representing the residents. Marsh Lake is very important to me. I live right around the corner of it. We've kayaked it. My son, who's in the audience tonight, who's on the Parks Board, completed his Eagle project and installed the senior fitness stations around the lake. It's a phenomenal, I call it a generational gem that we have in this city. Personally speaking, I am open to any type of conversation on this once we get into more of a in-depth planning phase of this. Fairfield this year, or was it last year, we're already in 2025, passed the first sustainability plan. For a city of 45,000 people, we are one of the only cities in Ohio that has a true sustainability plan. The essence of that sustainability plan has Marsh Lake, along with Councilman Bessel's statistics on the parks, completely embedded into it, as well as resource protection, efficiency, and so forth. But we as residents of the city should be very proud that this particular topic is brought to the forefront and solidified in legislation through our sustainability plan and the over 100 actions that Mr. Sackenheim and his team manage. I've got a lot of comments that I was prepared. I'm not going to repeat anything tonight. But the main thing I want to thank our Parks Board. These are volunteers. We've got some, can you stand up, please? Parks Board, please. Who's here? Megan's here. These are volunteers for the city. They don't get paid. They have true passion for everything that goes on in the city from a park standpoint, you can sit down, parks standpoint.
He's waiting for that check.
And I'm eternally grateful for what you guys have done and how you have completely embedded yourself into this project and so many others. The meetings that you go to, the public input that you have and so forth is phenomenal. But from my perspective, I'm voting yes to move this along with the understanding there's going to be a lot more dialogue and we're going to actually go into a much more deeper design. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I also have something as well.
Yes, sir.
Again, not to restate anything that's already been said to belabor the process, but I do think it's important to call out the difference of opinion that's gone on in the past 2 or 3 weeks. It's definitely been a lot more recently in the past 2 or 3 weeks than it has been in the last 7 or 8 months, which is as expected. It's still really great feedback, and it's a dialogue within our community that I greatly appreciate. I think it holds value to share some of the different diverse opinions because that's what makes us a great city and a great environment. So some residents have voiced concern who live around the lake around the city budget spend, the light, the noise, the change in the park dynamic, a potential increase in traffic, and interrupting the nature of the park in general. Residents have voiced support for the city's master plan and have asked that we actually move more quickly on this as a much needed improvement to the city and to Marsh Park. Residents have voiced support for the trail improvements, but preferred a more transient and less permanent restaurant or, quote, bar environment. Residents have also voiced frustration with the fishing nature of the park, the cost to keep the fishing supplied, and the non-inclusive nature of the park being more of a fishing lake only. They have even asked to have fishing not allowed by the park and a more children-friendly environment. The fantastic overarching point, again, as I repeat, is that we are coming together as a community to create a space that is going to be utilizable for everyone. It is a benefit for everyone in our community. It's not possible to have one solution for a variety of opinions, such as ours, and preferences that have just been spoken about. We will have to work together. We will have to come together and take up a plan that is best for everyone. I echo Councilman Meyer's comment about the opportunity with this vote to actually have more dialogue in our community and come up with a dialogue plan that works. It is up to council, Parks Department, and the city to make sure that this venue will be all it can be to meet the needs for as many as possible and continues to stay that way for the citizens of Fairfield. This will be a continued draw and an increasing draw to live and be part of the city of Fairfield. Just as Loveland is known for the quaint upscale downtown and the bike trail, Fairfield will also be known for the Marsh Park improvements and enhancements. This is an opportunity to also recognize it extends the bike trail, up into the Hamilton area, engaging that community as well. Progress forward and consistent improvement is and should always be a goal for every citizen in the community, as it definitely is for city staff and council. Making our city a place that our children want to grow up in and continue to live in is extremely important. And as a final reminder, the business side of the park would use 5% or less of the total overall acreage of the park, thus leaving the remaining 95% for the park for recreation and activities that attendees have grown to love. Thank you. That's all I have.
All right, good job.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to say to everyone, my first home was in the lake, so it has a very special place in my heart. I've been in this community 47 years and went to school here, lived in Fairfield Township all of my life before coming to the city of Fairfield. And the parks mean a great deal to me. I've utilized each and every one of the parks in raising my children, and with my grandchildren, I utilize them. I'm on this council not because, I'm self-serving. It's because I care about our community, and I absolutely love our parks. I want to hear what you guys want. I'm not trying to vote for something I want. I want to vote for, you elected me to vote for what you want. So it's important to me as your representative to hear what you want. I read every single thing that I see on the Fairfield City resident page, on the Marsh Lake. I take in consideration every single thing. So, and as do all of these other council people here, we have great dialogue and great discussions, and I have great respect for each and every member on this council because they truly want to do what's in the best interest of our citizens. Not one person up here has are trying to do something that they want. It's about what is best for our community and what do our citizens want. I've also served on the Parks Board, and we have a fabulous Parks Board. I absolutely loved it. The time there, I'd work there all the time if I could. It's fabulous, and the people really do care about our parks. So I want to hear from you. Let us know what you really want. As Tim said, this is a process moving forward. This is a work in process. It's evolving. It's not hard in stone. We're going to do exactly what's on this master plan. It's a look of what could be, what may be. And the first things we're really looking at is those trails. What can we do to make those better and get rid of the invasive
Honeysuckle.
Thank you, honeysuckle and those kinds of things. We want to make that better. And as far as the trash, that is a real pet peeve of mine. I taught my children, wherever you go, you pick up after yourself. You go to the theater, you don't leave it on the floor, you take it to the trash. So those of people, I want to encourage you, when you use our parks, take your trash to the trash can. Take it with you. Don't leave it there. It's not somebody else's job to pick up after you. That's how I live my life. So it's important to me to keep these beautiful, not only for us today, but for the generations to come. And we are blessed to have the parks that we have. So please know that this council really wants to hear from you. We want to know what's in the best interest. We're not trying to railroad something down that we think is the best choice. I'm not trying to do that at all, and neither is anybody here. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
All right. I'd like to say I'm glad to get this third reading over so my wife and I can go out to dinner without being interrupted. I can't go out at night and go anywhere without somebody coming up and talking to us, and you don't even get through your meal. We took it home the other night. So I'm thrilled to get this thing off the plate.
One other comment, Mr. Timmer, I've gone through the master plan. There's nothing in it, correct me if I'm wrong. The master plan has no verbiage in there about a bar at all.
That's
It's in the
correct.
appendix, right? I mean, it's a comment.
There's two mentions of the word bar. They are both from different comments in the survey.
Okay.
Nowhere in the entire plan is that word used. It's been utilized by those in opposition, but it is not a term that is actually found in the plan.
I was.
What you'll find is, flexible lease space.
Yeah.
You'll find for a concept related to brewery, tap room, you will not find the word bar anywhere in there.
I thought so. Thank you.
And then also, Mr. Timmer, is it also accurate that the city will maintain ownership of that commercial lease space so that we will have direct, I don't want to say control, but essentially we will have a stronger influence about what that space is used for?
The plan right now is to maintain all ownership and then lease the space. We have had conversations with other jurisdictions who currently operate that model. We're hoping to have conversations with other jurisdictions who have done the opposite and kind of weigh those decisions. But right now, if we were to open, which we're not, but if we were, right now, my recommendation would be to maintain ownership and then lease the property. That way, you do maintain that level of control. Also, if you look at the plan, you'll see that the plan initially recommends, 2 separate spaces, one for a future improved bait house and one building for the flexible lease space. Internally at the staff level, right now, we're thinking it likely makes more sense to condense that into one building and have them share space. Some of that is based off of feedback we've received to make less of a, footprint in the park. So we would likely try to incorporate both into the same facility. That would allow us to, make the build the building more along that southwest quadrant. The one gentleman spoke about having the uninterrupted area. That uninterrupted area is just the purchase parcel from the Muskoff house. There is property that was original to the Marsh Park transfer that does have enough space to allow for this combined building that I'm speaking of. The grant terms do not allow us to build structures that generate revenue. They do allow parking, so that would be where increased parking would be, which would actually move the parking further away from the actual water and then provide some level of, kayak dock as well as fishing dock so that you can easily drop off and then go park your car in that new lot. Right now, I believe the current lot has somewhere between 20 and 30 spaces to where this one would be increased to accommodate for the popularity that has been gained with the kayak and the fishing, as well as any future building or flexible lease space. The other somewhat misconception, and I know I'm kind of going on from what your initial question was, but the plan also calls for, and it's calling it an amphitheater, and there's been some confusion around that being in competition with the amphitheater we have at Village Green. To quantify what is at the Marsh facility in the plan as an amphitheater, it's not the same intent of what we have at Village Green. What they're really discussing is somewhat of a platform that you could sit on, eat your lunch on, look out at the water. But then if anyone's attended our Fridays by the Lake, instead of having it in the grass currently where where no one is facing the water, it would allow us to structure it in a way that the musical entertainment could play down on that platform and then the people sitting above so that you would actually be seeing the water behind them. But there would be no structure like what you see at Village Green. It would be more of an open air amphitheater style seating, but no actual construction of a, permanent amphitheater building. Was there anything I missed that you asked about? Okay.
Thank you. Just wanted to clarify.
That's up to.
Make it quick because we're ready to. Well, I've been on the Parks Board since '93 off and on. and this is the third master plan. So we've had Boy Scouting camps to, you name it, on it, so be patient, and you'll know what's moving on here, so. All right, all in favor? Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't think I've ever seen a three-story.
Well, it is terrace there, so you might have a walkout basement.
What it would likely encompass, the building would be built so that you could enter on one level from the parking lot side. It would likely have some type of outdoor seating that you could look at with the water. What you saw underneath it was likely some type of utility garage so that we could utilize some type of storage space underneath. There was, and to my knowledge, no intent to have usable space on that basement level, more for a golf cart if we need to shuttle someone around the lake, things like that. It wouldn't be usable space underneath, just trying to capture some storage.
Come to the planning.
Yeah, we're way upstream, so, all right. Anybody other comments from audience, or I've already done audience, council, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
We beat the crap out of that one.
Okay, I have another ordinance if we're moving on here. I have an ordinance to authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with Prodigy Building Solutions LLC for the Parks Playing Courts Rehabilitation Project at various city parks. This is the second reading. I'd like to make a motion to suspend the third reading.
Second.
Motion and second for rule suspension, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And move to adopt.
Second.
Motion and second for adoption. Comments from audience? Comments from council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right. Public Works, Councilmember Debbie Pennington.
Yes, Mayor, I have an ordinance and a resolution. The first one is an ordinance to authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with American Structure Point Incorporated for development of the Safe Streets and Roads for All Comprehensive Action Plan. And this is the third reading, so I'd like to make the motion to adopt.
Second.
Motion and second for adoption. Comments from audience? Comments from council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And the second one is a resolution to support of State Issue 2 renewal for the State Capital Improvement Program on the May 6th, 2025 statewide ballot. And this is a second reading, so I'd like to suspend the third reading. Motion to suspend.
Motion and second for rule suspension. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And motion to adopt.
Motion and second for adoption. Comments from audience? Comments from council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you, Mayor.
Hey, guys, you stick around a little bit. We have a little bit to do here in a second. I told them they were going to leave early, but I want you to see something else going on here, okay? Now, back to you, Leslie.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to read all new business by title only, please.
Second.
Motion and second to read by title only. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right. Mr. Timmer for Community and Public Relations.
Both actions are simple motions, nothing else to report. Thank you.
All right. Councilmember Brill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a simple motion to approve the 2025 summer meeting schedule for city council meetings to meet only the second Monday of each month of June, July, and August, with no meeting held on the fourth Monday of each month of June, July, and August.
All in favor?
Second.
We have a motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And item B, I want to defer to Mr. Myers, Councilmember Myers.
You don't want to appoint yourself, Gwen?
No.
All right. I have a simple motion, Mr. Mayor. This is a motion to appoint Councilmember Gwen Brill as council representative of the brand-new Sustainability Commission.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Well done.
All right. Doubles or pay. All right. Development Services, Mr. Timmer.
We have three ordinances tonight for development services. The second ordinance affirms the designation of the Community Improvement Corporation of Fairfield as the city's agency for development. Additionally, the ordinance authorizes a grant of $150,000 to the CIC for public purposes. The Fairfield CIC requested the grant to allow the organization to complete pre-development work related to the Hamilton Wellfield site located in the town center and other strategic properties. The third ordinance authorizes the city manager to apply for and accept a grant from the fiscal year 2025 Housing Technical Assistance Program. Ohio House Bill 315 created a grant program to offer financial assistance to political subdivisions in the state of Ohio to modernize regulations and processes tied to zoning efforts. The first ordinance is to authorize the city manager to execute a Community Reinvestment Area Agreement and Community Reinvestment Area School Compensation Agreement. Economic Development Manager Nathaniel Kalin will take it over from here.
All right, thank you, Mr. Timmer. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I appreciate being with you tonight to highlight a new economic development project. Ryan Fire Protection plans to locate a new facility within the city on Union Center Boulevard, just to the east of Sims Road. Ryan Fire Protection is a commercial fire protection firm specializing in fire extinguishers, sprinkler systems, fire alarm systems, and other fire protection products. The company currently has an operation down in Sycamore Township in Hamilton County, which would be relocated to Fairfield, including 47 existing employees. The company proposes to construct a new 30,000 square foot building to allow for their continued growth and to have a central service location for its Cincinnati and Dayton markets. The project represents a more than $9 million investment in Fairfield, including expenses related to acquiring the land, building construction, machinery, and equipment. In addition to retaining the 47 employees, Ryan plans to hire at least 15 new employees within 3 years of project completion. Anticipated future payroll is expected to exceed $5 million each year. To facilitate this expansion, Ryan is requesting a Community Revitalization Area, or CRA, tax abatement. Based on our tax incentive guidelines, we are recommending a 65% 6-year tax abatement on the assessed value of the new building. Ryan has agreed to make annual payments to partially compensate the Fairfield City School District and Butler Tech during the abatement period. The Board of Education of the Fairfield City School District has already approved this payment as part of a school compensation agreement that was approved on April 10th. Approval of the first item on tonight's Development Services agenda authorizes the city manager to execute agreements to facilitate the proposed tax abatement. So with that, to learn a little bit more about the project, I'd like to welcome Michael Rossi, President with Ryan Fire Protection, who's been with us tonight, very patient. Thank you, Ryan.
You're not going to put a restaurant or a bar there, are you?
No, all fire protection. So actually, we're up to 53 employees now. Yeah, and it should be up to 60 here in the next year. So first, I want to say thank you for having me. Look forward to joining the community, and just want to give a backstory on us. So currently, we're operating a Cincinnati Dayton Fire Protection, founded about 30 years ago from our previous owner. I started 10 years ago. We were 6 people in the office, about 12 people in the field, and we operated like that for the coming years. And when Ryan purchased us, we exploded. So we have 16 new hires in the office, 20 plus in the field, and the growth has been amazing. Ryan is a great family to work for, and we are ecstatic to make the growth. And we're busting at the seams. We're actually in 2 buildings right now in Sycamore Township, so the building can't come quick enough.
Sweet.
So thank you, and
thank you for picking Fairfield.
yeah, easy pick.
Easy pick. You know, we preach that we want to be the best business-friendly city in the state, and time and time again, these guys over here in our construction services inspectors prove us to be that way. So I think you're going to be really pleased that you picked here. I'm with developers a lot and at groundbreakings and everything, and then the owners of some big companies come to us and tell me that in my private ear over here, you know. So I think you'll be happy you picked this place. So.
Yeah, and if they need fire protection, we're right here.
There you go.
And if you've seen the rendering, it's a good-looking building right on Union Center.
Well, okay, I was gonna. Well, maybe you can show that to us. Thank you very much again.
Thank you.
Good deal. For the benefit of those students there, so Nathaniel, can you explain quickly, like in 1 minute, what just happened? Because we talked about this the other day, and I want them to kind of understand what just happened.
Sure. So when companies consider a community, there's a lot of different factors that they think about. They'll obviously think about site. Do we have land or a building that's available? They'll think about transportation. How quickly can they get to their customers and get employees? And so this company's looking at a site right on Union Center Boulevard, close access to I-75. They look at workforce. Do they have people who can work here? And we have a really good workforce story in Fairfield. They look at a number of things, but sometimes Fairfield will be just as competitive as other communities, and it may make sense for us to also provide a financial incentive to help bring the project to Fairfield. So tonight, Ryan Fire Protection came to the city to formally get approved for a tax abatement. So when their new building is built, a portion of their new property tax would be abated. It's not all of the property tax, but a portion of the new property tax. It's all based off the new value of the building, so there's no existing taxes that would be lost. But so this is a formal approval of that tax abatement.
Very good. That's what I wanted them to hear. And then for the benefit of everybody else, the schools aren't shorted, because if you notice, they'll calculate the shortage that would happen at the school level, and they made it cut a check to cover that, or they will. So, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see here. Where did we go on that sucker here?
I think that's up to me, sir.
Adam.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have an ordinance to authorize the city manager to execute a community reinvestment area agreement and a community reinvestment area school compensation agreement, which will provide property tax incentives for Ryan Fire Protection of Ohio LLC to construct a new building to be located on Union Center Boulevard and declaring an emergency. I'd like to make a motion to suspend second and third readings.
Motion and second for rule suspension. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And motion for adoption.
Second. Motion and second for adoption. Comments from audience? Comments from council?
I'll just echo, thank you for choosing Fairfield. We're
There you
excited to
go.
have you.
Yes, sir. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right.
Thank you. I also have an ordinance affirming the designation of the Community Improvement Corporation of Fairfield as the city's agency for development in the city and authorizing a grant of $150,000 to be made to the Community Improvement Corporation of Fairfield for public purposes and declaring an emergency. Motion to suspend second and third readings, please.
Motion and second for rule suspension. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And motion for adoption. Second.
Motion second for adoption. Comments from audience? Comments from council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. I also have an ordinance to authorize the city manager to apply and accept a grant from the FY 2025 Housing Technical Assistance Program and declaring an emergency. Motion to suspend second and third readings.
Second.
Motion and second for rule suspension. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And motion for adoption.
Motion second for adoption. Comments from audience? Comments from council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
That's all I have, sir. Thank you.
All right. Public safety, Mr. Timmer.
We have one ordinance and one resolution tonight for public safety. The ordinance is to authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with Locution Systems Incorporated for the purchase of a fire station alerting system. This request is to purchase an automated dispatch and alerting system for all three firehouses. The alerting system will automatically dispatch fire companies based on the information entered by the 911 call taker. This technology is designed to reduce the processing time for initiating an emergency response while allowing the call taker to remain on the phone and gathering information. The resolution is to make appointments to the Butler County 911 Program Review Committee. Ohio Revised Code Section 128.06, which provides for the County 911 Program Review Committee, has been amended relating to the membership on the committee. Thank you.
That's cool. All right. Councilmember Paulus.
I have an ordinance to authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with Locution Systems Incorporated for the purchase of fire station alerting system and declaring an emergency. Make a motion to suspend second and third reading.
Second.
Motion second for rule suspension. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Motion to adopt.
Motion second for adoption. Comments from audience? Comments from council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I have a resolution making appointments to the Butler County 911 Program Review Committee and declaring an emergency. Make a motion to suspend second and third reading.
Motion second for rule suspension. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Motion second for adoption. Comments from audience? Comments from council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, finally, finance and budget. Council, Mr. Timmer.
We have four ordinances tonight for finance and budget. The first ordinance is to establish salaries and hourly rates for certain municipal court employees. Specifically, this ordinance corrects an error in the ordinance passed at the April 14th meeting of council. The second, third, and fourth ordinances are for appropriations. The first is for supplemental appropriations. The supplemental appropriations total $12,000 and will be used specifically for contractual assistance with electrical inspections. The contractual appropriations total $390,000 and include 2 projects in the Fire and Development Services departments. The non-contractual appropriations total $137,850 and include 6 projects in the Public Utilities, Parks and Recreation, and Public Works Department. Thank you.
All righty. Mr. Myers from Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First ordinance is to establish salaries and hourly rates for certain municipal court employees of the city of Fairfield, Ohio, and to authorize and limit the number and types of certain municipal court employees to repeal ordinance number 47-25 and all amendments thereto and declaring an emergency. I'd like to make a motion to suspend the second and third readings, please.
Motion and second for rule suspension. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. Motion to adopt.
Second.
Motion and second for adoption. Comments from audience? Comments from council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. The second is an ordinance to amend ordinance number 158-24, entitled an ordinance to make estimated appropriations for the expenses and other expenditures of the city of Fairfield, Ohio during a period beginning January 1st, 2025 and ending December 31st, 2025. I'd like to make a motion to suspend the second and third readings, please.
Motion and second for rule suspension. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. Motion to adopt.
Second.
Motion and second for adoption. Comments from audience? Comments from council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
The third item is an ordinance to amend ordinance number 158-24, entitled an ordinance to make estimated appropriations for the expenses and other expenditures of the city of Fairfield, Ohio during a period January 1st, 2025, ending December 31st, 2025. I'd like to make motions, suspend second and third readings.
Motion and second for rule suspension. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. Motion to adopt.
Motion and second for adoption. Comments from audience? Comments from council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. And the last item is an ordinance to amend ordinance number 158-24, entitled an ordinance to make estimated appropriations for the expenses and other expenditures of the city of Fairfield, Ohio during a period beginning January 1st, 2025 and ending December 31st, 2025. I'd like to make motions, suspend second and third readings, please.
Motion and second for rule suspension. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. Motion to adopt.
Motion and second for adoption. Comments from audience? Comments from council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
All right, Madam Clerk, could you read the meeting schedule?
Monday, May 12th, council manager briefing 6 p.m., regular meeting 7 p.m. Tuesday, May 27th, council manager briefing 6 p.m., regular meeting 7 p.m. Monday, June 9th, council manager briefing 6 p.m., regular meeting at 7 p.m.
All righty. We will move into executive session.
Congratulations.
Good job, folks.
Hey, Adam. Sir.